Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy and I love talking about the environment, but today's video is going to be a little bit different. So basically what prompted this video was I was scrolling through YouTube and I was personally attacked by another small YouTube channel. Basically she was talking about how it feels like on YouTube these days everyone's talking about the same two topics. The two topics being Generation Alpha going crazy, third spaces. The big one was definitely Stanley Cups. Like, everyone is regurgitating the same two topics every other week, and it feels like no one has any unique video ideas, no one's doing anything cool or interesting or special, and it feels like there's no creativity on YouTube. And I felt personally attacked because I was also planning on doing a Stanley Cup video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it anymore. Honestly, I was never too compelled to make a Stanley Cup video because like all I could really think of to say is obviously Stanley Cup not sustainable, not a good idea. I think this whole thing is blown out of proportion. Just use your water bottle, and that takes like 2 seconds to say that. So I wasn't sure how exactly I could talk about it for like 20 minutes. But my original plan for that Stanley Cup video was to talk more so about how overconsumerism and buying things and shopping has kind of replaced socializing and interacting with people, community. So that was the kind of route I was gonna take, but ultimately I was like, I can make that video without it being strictly Stanley Cup related. I was just gonna add that Stanley Cup element so people click on it, which brings me to the point of this video. I agree with the video. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers are talking about the same couple of topics every week. But I think the reason is it's kind of how you play the game. It just works when you talk about trending topics, when you talk about things that are relevant and, you know, trending, then people will click on your video. So video that I posted last week, it was about Taylor Swift and her private jet usage. I don't think a super novel idea, a novel topic, especially like after the Super Bowl. I actually had the video planned before the Super Bowl, but like after the Super Bowl, after the lawsuit, it was just something a lot of people were talking about. And that video did so well compared to other videos I've been posting recently. For context, I used to post a lot of videos about like zero waste and like sustainability tips, which are fun videos to make. They're interesting videos to make, but they're definitely not like deep dives. Those like top 10 sustainability habits, blah, 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 types of videos, you can only make so many until you're saying the same 5 things over and over again. So I kind of pivoted away from that, also just because like I wanted to pivot away from like, here's how you can save the environment, and more so like the systemic issues around the environment and kind of how we can fix our society as a whole collectively instead of always talking about how one person can like be more sustainable. So that's kind of why I pivoted away from those videos. But at the same time, those top 10 sustainability habits videos just do so well on YouTube. They just perform so much better. I mean, just lists in general, anything that's like top 10, top 5 is going to perform really well. So yeah, as I've kind of pivoted away from that and more into more research, long form, deep dive topics, I've definitely seen my views go down. I've definitely seen less interest in my videos, which is so sad because I'm spending more and more time, which kind of made it hard for me to post in general because I was putting so much time and effort into these videos and then no one was clicking on it. So I was like, what's the point? So that's kind of the issue. Like, yes, let's complain about the fact that so many people are talking about the same topics, but that's what YouTube is pushing out. And especially like as a smaller creator, I'm sure like if I had a lot more of a following, it would be a lot easier for me to be able to do one-off videos that aren't immediately clockable as like, oh, this is interesting. But especially for smaller creators, those trending topics are what get people to click if you don't already have that name recognition. So that's why a lot of smaller channels specifically will talk about trending topics. And obviously, even if you're a bigger creator, you're still going to talk about trending topics because that's what YouTube's pushing out. And if you want to get a paycheck, you're going to talk about Stanley Cups. So that's, I think, the kind of issue. Like, I think the issue just goes back to, that's just kind of how the system, I know it's not a satisfying conclusion, but that's just kind of how the game is being played right now. And going back to the Stanley Cup video I was gonna make, I think I just realized, like, yeah, I don't know if I'm that invested in the Stanley Cup debacle to make a whole video on it. And I have so many interesting videos I want to make that I would love to make, but I'm just sick and tired of spending 10 hours editing a video and then have it get no views. I'm just, it's just hard. It's such a hard game, and I feel like being a YouTuber, being a creator, there's just so many different things that you have to become good at to win at this game. You have to be good on like the creative side of like making the videos, but also on like more of the business side of getting your video to be pushed by the algorithm. And it's just a whole thing. It's just hard, especially as a smaller creator, to spend hours making a video that's cool and unique, and then it gets no views, versus like the video I made on Taylor Swift, so many views compared to my more recent topics that are kind of more niche. So I'm like, do I keep spending hours and hours working on this like really deep dive topic that isn't necessarily super talked about right now? Or do I make a video about something that is already trending and is going to be guaranteed to at least get more traffic onto my channel? I'm trying to do kind of a mix of both right now, where I'm talking about trending things sometimes, but also focusing on kind of more spur of the moment inspiration. Right now I'm working on a video on intentional shopping and going through 10 things in my apartment that I use a lot that I consider to be intentional shopping. I think that's kind of a in between of like, I feel like this is something that would be interesting to people, but is also interesting to me. So that's kind of my 2 cents on this. And I know this is kind of like Inception, because like this girl puts out a video about how everyone's talking about the same things, and then I hop on and talk about what she's talking about. So the irony does not escape me on that, but I'm kind of curious what you guys think about this. Do you prefer kind of trending topics? You know, there's definitely like a kind of a pro to it. Like you get different opinions on something that a lot of people are interested in, versus you log onto YouTube and there's a video about like seals in the 70s and I don't know, something like really nation specific, and like you look at it and you're like, I guess I'll watch this video about seals in the 70s and why they almost went extinct in the Bahamas. Like there's videos like that where it's like so nation specific and you weren't looking for it but it came to you, versus like more trending topics. You know, there's both work. Also, I did get my hair done. What do you think? Anyways, yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to support my channel, my Patreon is going to be in the description, along with my Instagram and TikTok. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. If you have anything that you want me to talk about, put it in the description and I'll make a video on it. If you want that Stanley Cup video, I can still make it if you guys want it. I just literally have no idea what people want me to do on here. Share my videos if you want more people to view them. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.